This video is sponsored by Sakuraco Box. Sakuraco is a monthly Japanese snack subscription box full of 19 traditional, authentic, and artisan snacks, and also one kitchenware, delivered straight from Japan to your door. They personally curate and provide authentic Japanese sweets, snacks, and tea, and many more from local makers in Japan every month, sent to their subscribers' door across the world straight from Japan. The theme for the month of March is Sakura Afternoon Tea, and I absolutely loved what I received. From Sakura jelly, manju, and baumkuchen to strawberry, matcha, and green tea cookies, my box had so many delectable sweets that I could try. Every sweet is made in Japan, and every snack tastes truly authentic. The green tea especially was great to wash down the many snacks that came in my box. The box also comes with a beautiful booklet showcasing the snacks that come in the box, labeling ingredients and key facts about the production of each item. The book also highlights many aspects of Japanese culture, cities, and history with wonderful and intriguing descriptions of this wonderful country. If I had to pick my personal favorite item that I received, then it is 100% the Sakura sweetbread. I need more of this bread in my life. It is absolute perfection. It is so fluffy, so sweet, and just so delectable. I could just eat it all day long, and I really wish they came more with the box, but can't take it. As I'm currently editing this video right now, I'm actually eating some of the stuff I got from the box, and the one I'm eating right now is the Sakura jelly. And it's something I've really never had before. It's a jelly, like any other type of jelly, but it's got flower petals in it, like the Sakura flower petals, and it's something I've never had before, but it's really fucking good. Like, it's actually genuinely really nice and delectable, and something I've never had before. So that's just on impressions, thoughts on this item right here. And there's so many more items in this box that, honestly, if I had any of these and I could buy these at a convenience store, I would. So I really want more of this stuff. The best part about the box is that no matter your preference on food, items, your palates, or whatever you find most delectable, there's always going to be one thing in that box that you're going to enjoy no matter what. I 100% guarantee it. Everything I received in this box was delectable and truly otherworldly, and something I've never been able to taste before in my life, and I'm glad I got to taste it because of Sakura Box. So if anything I said sounds intriguing and that you might like it yourself, what are you waiting for? Experience authentic Japanese tea time at your home and use the code Riverdude to get $5 off your first Sakuraco order. To find out more, check the affiliate link in the description below. And again, thank you for Sakura Box for sponsoring this video, and now on to our regularly scheduled programming. I have a certain love for detective stories, whether it be a cop show like The Mentalist, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Columbo, any of the CSIs, or mystery novels or movies like Knives Out, Murder on the Orient Express, Seven, and many more. I love a story that makes you feel like a detective. The problem I have with a lot of detective anime is that they normally devolve into cute mysteries, horror mysteries, or some combination of the two. Not many keep the gritty tone of true crime, while also keeping some of the goofier aesthetics of anime we have come to know. Even some of my favorite anime of all time fail in this regard. Monster is not only one of the best manga/anime that I've ever watched of all time, but it's also one of the best mystery stories I have ever watched. But even then, Monster feels real, and it doesn't feel like an anime, which normally I would praise it for, but for this argument, it's kind of a detriment. Psycho Pass is closer to that feeling I want, but it sometimes feels more like Blade Runner than it does a detective story. Kind of same thing goes for Death Note. It has the aesthetics of anime, but it feels very real and doesn't have the goofiness that comes with anime at times. But what I'm getting at is that, to me, there hasn't been an anime that has bridged the gap from being a realistic, yet extravagant, detective story, which is very specific, until now. Moriarty the Patriot is not only the best adaptation of the Sherlock Holmes characters, stories, and mythos, but is also one of the best detective anime I have ever watched, second only to Monster and Death Note. This series is like the perfect storm of an anime for me, specifically. Not only is it based off of and adapts some of my favorite novels and characters as a young adult, that being the many adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Not only do we get many bits of fan service and hidden details that only someone who has read the books could point out, not only does it have a fantastically written cast of characters who all fit together cohesively in this web of plots and stories, not only does it have a stellar soundtrack and composition that just makes you feel like you're in Victorian London, but the dub is done entirely in British accents, and it's the greatest thing ever.
Might I suggest the one who win it? Tell me, lad, you able to see into the future?
Piss off!
Also, Sherlock's hot.
What does that gentleman do for a living?
Regarding the man's line of work, it's rather elementary. He's a mathematician.
Perfection. Mwah. Joking aside, I have fallen in love with this very fresh adaptation of the Sherlock Holmes series ever since episode 1, and it just kept getting better. But I am making a bold claim when I say that this is the best adaptation of Sherlock Holmes. I mean, there have been so many adaptations of this character that trying to pick the best is almost impossible. And only the maddest of madmen would even attempt to rank the best Sherlock Holmes adaptations. Except for the worst, because we all know that's Holmes and Watson, a disgrace to cinema and comedy alike. Watch without a clue if you want an actual Sherlock Holmes comedy done right. Trust me, you'll thank me later. Anyway, there's a specific reason why I personally hold this series up as one of the best adaptations of these characters, and that's with the simple story premise of flipping the perspective. That's it. The simple fact that this story starts with the perspective of the main villain, William James Moriarty, and focuses on him as a character, his motivations, his scheming, his ruthlessness, and his compassion, turns the narrative that has been known for over 100 years on its head and makes Sherlock Holmes feel fresh again. I mean, we don't even meet Sherlock until episode 6, and he's not the main focus until episode 8 when him and Watson first meet. That's 6 whole episodes dedicated to this new concept and idea that has never once been attempted in a series. Who is Moriarty? Not only that, but it introduces new characters in the form of William's brothers, Albert and Louis, who together form the identity that is known as the Lord of Crime, James Moriarty. It's a very clever and unique way to interpret one of the most famous antagonists in fiction, and yet it doesn't come across as insane or stupid. It really just makes sense. I don't want to spoil too much of this show in this video because I really want everyone to watch it free from spoilers, but I have to mention this. The first episode sets up the main story focus and setup throughout most of the show. Rich people are assholes, rich people abuse and sometimes kill poor people want revenge on the rich people, and in steps Moriarty, who uses his resources and cunning to make it to where the poor people can get revenge on their abusers. This is the cycle that many episodes divulge into, and it's very cathartic in a way. You get why these people go so far to kill, torture, and maim these rich oligarchs, because they do nothing but trample on everyone they perceive as lower than them, or worse, actively hunt and kill them. But you still get a sense of unease from Moriarty, at how cold and calculated he is, at orchestrating these deaths, all in a way that he never once kills someone. Every death, every murder attributed to him is done solely by someone who is either working for him or has been manipulated by him. This show heavily emphasizes the fact that Moriarty is a master manipulator and is always thinking 10 steps ahead from everyone else. It also dives deep into what Moriarty actually wants. In some incarnations, at the top of my head, I'm thinking of the Guy Ritchie movies, Moriarty himself has been the rich oligarch, trying to profit off the suffering of others. In those movies, he was profiting over the idea of a world war, and he would own all the means of production for that, and he would become massively rich from it. However, in this narrative, William wants essentially a revolution to occur. where the working class rises up to take down the corrupt and wealthy and seize the means of production themselves. Oh my god, Moriarty is a communist, and it makes total sense.
I will restore the working man to his rightful glory. I will dismantle this oppressive establishment board by board.
Another aspect of the show that I adore is the man himself, Sherlock Holmes. This may possibly be my favorite version of Sherlock portrayed outside of the books for one simple reason. He's fun. Many versions of Sherlock Holmes gets the calculating, genius, egotist correct when they portray the character, but probably the one aspect of Sherlock's character that gets forgotten about the most is his playfulness. Sherlock has a lot of fun in the books because he really loves his job. Whereas most people become saddened or sick hearing about the gruesome murders, it just makes Sherlock excited that there's a new mystery to solve. He also shows genuine care for others that he deems important to him, something that many people try to avoid in their stories because Sherlock's supposed to be the cold, high-functioning sociopath in their eyes. But Moriarty's Sherlock is just captivating to watch on screen, whether he's solving a crime instantly or is just talking to Watson. I can't go into every character's portrayal in this show, but I absolutely adore Watson and Holmes' dynamic in this show, as well as Miss Hudson and Holmes' rocky yet adorable relationship. Also, I can't go into detail about this too much because I really don't want to spoil this show for you and I really want you guys to watch it, but Moriarty and Sherlock's relationship and dynamic is just so perfect and it's one of the best parts about this entire show. Trust me, it is done perfectly, and if you have read the books, it really fleshes it out for you. I also quickly want to mention the English dub done by Funimation because, in my opinion, it's honestly the best way to watch the show. Everyone, and I mean everyone, is doing a British accent, and it's absolutely incredible how blurred these lines can be.
You wouldn't mind if I brought strange men back to my room as long as it was work-related. Is that right?
This useless doctor can't even light a cigarette.
Piss off!
If you'd prefer, we could make it a more communal affair.
But the main cast is doing an incredible job as well. Forgive me, I might be butchering some names here, but Aaron Dismuke as William, Christopher Guerrero as Albert, Howard Wang as Lewis, Susie Young as Miss Hudson, and Ryan Colt Levi as Watson all fit their characters perfectly and are doing some of the best performances I've heard these actors put in to their roles, and it's done so well. However, the highlight of this show is definitely Theo Davinet as Sherlock, the only actual British person on the cast, funnily enough, who absolutely knocks it out of the park as the detective. I'm serious when I say this man needs to voice Sherlock in other media because he was absolutely born to voice this character.
After you eliminate every other possibility, then whatever remains must be the truth, no matter how improbable.
How rude of me.
Huh?
All this time, and I realized I never asked you your name.
You can call me Holmes, old sport. Detective Sherlock Holmes.
Also, please get season 2 dubbed already. I can't take it anymore. I need bad British accents in my life again.
Future.
Not to mention the fan service. Oh my god, the fan service. Every Sherlock Holmes character shows up at least once. Mycroft, Lestrade, Irene Adler, Gregson, the Irregulars, Milverton, Baskerville, and so many more. It also adapts famous cases in unique ways, such as A Study in Scarlet, The Hounds of the Baskervilles, A Scandal in Bohemia, and many more. It adapts them in ways to where it's not the same, but it sets it up to where you know the rest of the story. It really emphasizes the fact that you should already know how this story plays out, and even if you do, you're still going to get thrown for a loop on what they're going to do. Kind of similar to how they did it in the BBC Sherlock show, but instead of just making it a completely different story altogether, it really feels more tied to the original story than that show did it. Also, BBC Sherlock is not that great. I'm sorry, it's just not. It also throws in famous what-if scenarios in the show, the most famous being Jack the Ripper. And how would Sherlock solve and yet not solve who the serial killer was? Even scenes from the novels are adapted almost word for word, like when Watson first meets Holmes, for example. And if you're still not convinced that this show isn't just dripping with love and passion, then I'll tell you this. James King Bond is in this show. Yeah, I'm being 100% serious here. James Bond is in Moriarty the Patriot, along with M, MI6, Miss Moneypenny, and Q. And let me tell you, you'll never in a million years guess who James Bond is. Trust me, my jaw dropped to the floor when he got revealed. It's so cool. Last thing I want to mention before we wrap this video up, but the openings done by Tasuku Hatanaka are some of my favorite recent anime openings right now. They just fit the series so well and are so epic in every way. I just cannot get over Dying Wish and Twisted Hearts. They are just absolutely perfect openings, and you just need to listen to it. And please just listen to the openings, watch the show, just get into it. It's so good. But yeah, this is honestly just my rambling thoughts on a new anime I'm watching, and I may make more of these videos if people like them, or I may never make an attempt like this again. Who knows? But anyway guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Like and subscribe for more content, and if you like these types of videos, then tell me about it in the comments below. I want to hear your opinions. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and until next time, arrivederci.